Okay, good evening. It's about 5:30 on Monday, March 6th. Had a planned meeting for anyone who wanted to participate on how to write the AAPTEL evidence, especially for those who aren't taking Mail 602. We're going to go through those here in just a second. If we get some folks, great. If we don't get some folks, I'll do this and then save it and move it along. Let's see if we can get. Okay. As you come in, do let us know if you're coming in and joining us, please. We're going to start in Blackboard, the new Blackboard page for internships that you can go to. For me, I have to look up my courses. These are the ones that I have or have taught in the past. Right now, this is the one we're in, the Executive Leadership Internship. And what we're going to look for this particular one is the Mail Sub Handbook. I think it's got the things that we need to have. So we get over here with handbooks. And we're not a legacy group, not most of us anyway. So we're going to look at the Mail Scale Handbook. And then we're going to leaf down through. You're all taking 601, so we can skip that. You'll be writing that in class. Although I would like to say, I'd like to suggest to you as you do your peer editing to be very tough on each other for grammar and spelling. Finding a lot of those kicked back to us, and you don't want to do this too many times. It gets a little long. Okay, through 601. The laid out rubric. Come on. And 602, Analysis and Action Plan for Teacher Empowerment and Leadership. And basically what you need is, hey Shavonta, how you doing? You there? Okay, good. Glad you can make it. This is like really a big deal for me because I've never gone this far in Zoom, so be scared. Let me catch up where I was because I'm recording the whole thing for posterity so I can put it out for other candidates, okay? And where we are is I went into Blackboard, into the new internship page. Have you seen that at all? I can't hear you. Let's see, unmute. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been in the new Blackboard page at all?
Not at all.
Okay, let's go back to it then. See if we can find our way back through here. No, that might have been a mistake. Anyway, if you go into Blackboard where it lists your courses, mine's saying my courses, so and mine looks a little different than yours. There's actually a place on there where you can click into 697, 698, and names listed along with all the other people who work with interns. Okay, and then from there you can actually put your things in for discussion if you'd like me or any of your colleagues to read them. They're wide open there. I mean, anybody can read them, but none of us are reading any more than we have to, of course. So I would be the one that would pick up on yours. You can read your colleagues, whatever, and get ideas. But I wanted to go through the Mail's handbooks, which is one of the options that you can get. Anyway, these are all the options. There's some Zoom video links. If you haven't dealt with Dr. Lamb, he put this together, so it will be thorough, I promise you. So you can look up 602 for the 5-semester program, 603, whether it's a 3-semester or a 5-semester. It doesn't have anything in for the 3-semester 2 yet, but we know what we have to do. And one of the things we can look at is the Mail's handbooks. And I'm going to suggest, because this one's This one's to your principal, if he needs to see it. This one is for people who are past you in the program and wrapping up. And this one is the one that we want to use, okay? And then click it up. And it's the best one I've seen for really covering. All this first is AAPTEL and 601. So you're pretty much finished with that, and I'm going to leave that up to your 601 professor, okay? Although, I will say, if you put it into the discussion board in Blackboard in this area, I will read it and I will comment on it. But I'm not the final evaluator. And what I am finding with some of our stuff that's getting evaluated is that they're really putting a premium on spelling, grammar, and use of APA. So if you're good at those things, great. If you struggle with grammar and punctuation, anything like spelling, anything like that, find someone who you trust and can edit for you before you send it in, okay? Also, in your small groups, the groups where you're doing the editing, I'd like to suggest that you really beat on each other about that and make sure that people are turning in their best work in English. Okay, this is the 602 class. We're going to skip over that because we're not taking it. We're going to move right on down someday. And these are the things that we're going to do for completing the artifacts. AAPTEL Task 1, Best Practice Research and Checklist. And we started talking about this the other day. Task 1 description, I don't need to read this aloud, but you're doing a literature review, which is not the same as an annotated bibliography, right? Okay, so make sure you do a lit review and that you study these 5 things. And I would suggest for each one of them, you want to have at least 2 references, not more than 5, because you really don't have to write a dissertation, but 2 or 3, and try to make them fairly equal. Now you could use the same book or the same source for several of them, but group them according to these 5 things. Okay? Gives you the evidences to clip to it. Putting a lot of emphasis on these video clips, etc. You want to make sure you follow APA style in your references, and you want to be sure that you have a good graphic checklist at the end. Just something that'll say, this is what the literature said you need, and this is the way it is in my school. Later on, you'll fill in the blanks with what we need to do to get there. Okay? But the key to me, I think, is it's a literature review. It is not an annotated bibliography, and that you have to stick with these 5 things. And at the end, you need a checklist just that takes what you found out in your research, and creates a checklist. And then later on, you're gonna fill in what you find at your school. Make sense? Okay. AAPTEL Task 2. You're going to take that checklist that you made in number 1, and then you're going to collect data in the school over 5 routine days by observing whatever's observable in the school that tells you about these things, okay, that you find from Task 1. Now, some of these things are hard to see. And you may go to other data sources. In my suggestion, you might want to look at your teacher working conditions survey to get teacher opinions, for example, for I'm allowed teacher, I have the chance to lead, or teachers are important in decision making in my school. Okay?
Okay.
Are you walking through the halls? Or are you pacing?
Yeah, we went to the house.
Okay. I was like, wow. Okay, then you put it in your chart, and then they want you to create visuals to show what you found in your research compared to what you found at your school. Okay, and that's Task 2. Task 3 is make sure that you always use a team for all this stuff. just routinely across the board for all your work. If you just plan to have a team, a PLC that you can rely on to come back and check data back with you and things,
Okay.
you'll probably use it throughout your degree. So don't be afraid to get one together. But this last one, the growth plan, use that team to develop a teacher-empowered leadership growth plan to give to your school improvement team. And that can be, that includes the report of best practices that you did at first, your that review, then that checklist that you did, and an analysis of gaps between what the literature says would be perfect and what you found at your school. And you use all these different evidences tacked on with a narrative analysis. Always make it okay?
Okay.
And it's got a checklist of what to, I mean, if
So
you
we following the same thing like we did in AAPTEL.
it'll be very, very similar. But make sure you read the directions because there may be variations, and that may
Okay.
be part of what they're looking for. But if you use these checklists at the end of the prompts, you can't go wrong. Just follow directions and do what you need to do. Then the last part is the reflection on the competencies, and that means you take what you've learned and try to align it with what you've seen, especially as an intern.
Okay.
Things that maybe aren't connected with classroom work so much. Okay.
Okay.
And they're really looking for visual type stuff, for pushing the limits on, pushing the envelope on techware, etc. So any way that you can attach things that show that in your final reflection, go for it. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And make sure that you personalize it. Like, don't just say the evidence says that we communicated. We had to do these things to communicate better. Whatever the evidences need to be, just make sure that you personalize it to you and your situation at your school. Okay?
Okay.
And that's it.
How long do we have? Like, okay, so we're on in my current class for the app. So we're doing task 5 this week, and we're gonna submit it. And so then we are supposed to start this here, AAPTEL.
Yes, as soon as you possibly can.
Okay.
I think they've arranged for you guys who are doing the doubling up on classwork.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've arranged it so you're finishing your first task soon enough to give you time to finish your second one as well.
Okay.
But I would give myself as much time as possible.
But we should be done by May then? What AAPTEL?
Yeah. Before the end of the semester.
Okay. Okay.
We need to have it in, and we need to have it, if not evaluated, 2 year evaluated. I would shoot for 2 weeks before the end of the semester if possible.
Okay. Okay. Dr. Robertson, I do have, we've done peer reviews and my team has been really excellent, but I do want to submit my tasks 1 through 4 for you to have an opportunity to kind of give me some more feedback on it, because I'm going back through and rewriting those.
Uh-huh.
So I'll submit them, one at a time, but I just want to make sure I'm covering everything. I kind of, in my group, I think I'm the only person that's actually in the classroom still teaching. So it's kind of been kind of difficult to kind of write. And when I read the other ladies, their narratives, they're wonderful. And I'm thinking, I don't know how y'all got all that information. And I just think it's maybe because I don't have as much time during the day to actually spend on this as I'd like.
That I don't know. What we'll do is make sure that you reach proficiency in what you're doing. And,
Yeah.
That's the goal, not necessarily to write the dissertation of the future or whatever.
Okay.
Look on the screen on the left side where we first found the Male Scale Handbook.
Yes, sir.
These are the things that Dr. Lamb's built into this shell in Blackboard for us to use.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing you can do is go to the very bottom, this discussion board, clinical coach of review of draft tasks.
Okay.
And click on there. And it's going to give you, it's just like the discussion board in class.
Okay.
But it gives me the chance. It actually works best if you'll tell me that you've done it.
Okay. Okay.
Because then it helps me get to where I'm going. For this one, for example, unread post. So I hit them.
Mhm.
I don't teach this person. I don't teach this person. None of these are by my interns.
Okay.
So I'll mostly skip them until I run into one that is by one of my interns. And then,
Okay.
so if I'm going into yours, make sure your name is attached onto it.
Okay.
Task one, Shvante McGee,
Mhm.
and then I'll have to pick it up and I'll make comments and get back to you absolutely as quick as I can. Now,
Okay.
my opinion is just that. It's an opinion. It's not the one that counts. That's your evaluators.
Mhm.
So I do have to swear off that they may find things that I've done.
Okay.
That's why you don't want to wait too long, because if they do, they'll send it back with comments on how to fix it. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
No, sir. I don't have any. I don't have any more.
Okay. You think we accomplished what we needed to here tonight?
I think we did, because I did not. I knew there were tasks, but I did not recognize that the time frame was to be that I could, as soon as I finish my reflection here for my app, so I could actually start on that. So that's good.
Oh, absolutely. You can do them both simultaneously if you want to. In fact, I would say next semester, once you get your assignment for your first evidence that you do,
Yes.
see what the next one is, the one that would be in the filler semester.
Mhm.
Try to look at it as even as you're working. Okay.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm going to stop my share and say goodnight. Okay.
All right. Good night. Thank you so much.
Good week.
You too. Bye bye.